What's going on, my Supreme YouTube family? Welcome back to another video, and this time it's back to some gaming content. I know there's been an influx of Pokemon stuff like crazy on this channel, but I'm sorry, I've been having a blast collecting the cards and opening the packs and everything, and I have more already on the computer ready to upload for Pokemon. But for now, wanted to bounce back to some gaming stuff, and in this one, I wanted to talk about my PlayStation Portable PSP collection. Yes, my PSP collection is one of the very first collections I started collecting for when I hopped into the game collecting scene. It was something where I just loved handheld gaming, and the PSP was one that wasn't really talked about that much at that time. It was all about the DS and stuff like that, and I wanted to dive in and start collecting for the PSP. And it's pretty surprising now. You'll see some of the prices on some of these games from what I paid where I left the stickers on. And if you look at them now, they've quadrupled in prices, sometimes 10 times over in price for a game that I paid 10 bucks for. It's now sitting at like 150 bucks. So it's pretty insane. With that being said, this was a video that was recorded on Twitch, just like my previous collection video with the Switch. So if no one wants to sit through and watch all that stuff, I'm going to do you a quick favor right now, and I'm just going to pan through and show you all the games. There will be a picture going by right now, a video showing you every game I got if you care to look at it that way. But if you want to hear me talk a little bit about each game, just stay tuned to the footage from the live stream, and I'll go and talk a little bit about each game that I have. So yeah, we got 80 plus, 85 plus games here to show. It's a collection that I truly love. It's close and dear to my heart. Like I said, it's one of the first ones I want to collect for. So hope you guys enjoy. If you do, give us a like, give us a subscribe. And if you want to tune into this stuff where we see it live, go on over to Twitch, because that's where I do all this stuff mainly live, just because it's a little bit easier to navigate as far as editing and stuff. And if anyone wants to come in just to talk about the system while we're doing it, it's just a good time going back and forth with the viewers watching, just talking about our love for a console or a system. So yeah, we just hit affiliate over there too, so it's pretty exciting news. So if you have a Twitch Prime sub, feel free to go over there and drop me one on my channel. I'd appreciate it. But yeah, enough of that, enough of the promoting, and yeah, here is the PSP collection video. Thanks for watching. First thing I'll do is start off with the special editions that I have first. And a lot of this stuff is getting pricey too, and some of these still have the stickers on them from when I got them, because trying to peel this stuff off a cardboard can be a pain in the butt. So without further ado, let's kick it off. It shouldn't take too long to go through all of them, but should be fun. And again, come hang out if you want to. And yes, we have hit affiliate. For those new here, we finally hit affiliate this past week. So if you're Twitch Prime and want to drop a Twitch Prime subscription or anything on the channel, feel free to. No pressure to do it, but it would be awesome. Or any type of subscription or just a follow is awesome on the channel. So we appreciate it. It's awesome that we made it here. But let's get into it. First game we're going to show off, Lunar Silver Star Harmony. And the box has seen better days. As you can see, there's some dents in it. But believe it or not, this is kind of the condition it was in at GameStop when I bought it brand new, when it was sitting there on the shelf. And I did pay that price, 30 bucks. And now this game is going, I have price chart up to my side just in case I wanted to look at anything. And this one, Silver Star Harmony, there it is, complete. It's sitting in the $80 range. So fantastic. You might see the premium editions here, but the games have been taken out, so you might see the games again when I'm going through the games. But awesome game. This is a tried and true RPG, JRPG at its finest. Fan beloved. Some people have Lunar Star as their favorite RPG of all time, but awesome to have the premium edition here. Boom, it's premium edition number 1. Number 2, another beloved fan favorite, Legend of Heroes, Trails in the Sky on the PSP. There was so much hype in the community, JRPG community, when this thing came out. And nowadays, looking back, I've never beaten or completed this game. I know it's sad to say I haven't. I have put a bunch of hours into it, but at the time, the combat system in the game, I just wasn't really getting into. But now, the combat system in the game, after further getting into JRPGs, is one of my favorite type of RPG battle systems in RPG gaming. So I need to get back to it. From what I remember, there was a lot of heavy grinding with not a lot of experience per battle, and that was one of the turn-offs. But still to this day, people say the The trilogy with this is some of the best storytelling in RPGs. This was the only one I believe we got on the PSP that was English translated, but I'm still happy to have the premium edition of it. And I think this is going up in the 150 pluses now. Now, some of my favorite games on the Switch coming up, or the PSP coming up next, that I'm so happy on the premium editions of. Of course, Ys Chronicles 1 and 2 on the PSP. I have to thank Johnny Millennium, the Happy Console Gamer, for really pointing this series out to me and diving into this. I do not believe this was the first one I played. I want to say Ys 3 was the first one I played, Oath and Falgana, then I went back and played these later. But I love everything about these games, the action RPG systems in it. And I don't want to get talking too much on everything because it'll make this video just drowned out, because I'm going to post this up to YouTube later. But this special edition luckily has stayed in pretty good shape. And again, I paid $40 for this brand new, and the condition has still stayed up there. And I want to say this is one that's up there in the hundreds now too. Just like every single game, it seems like these days are in the hundreds. And right now, to this day, is still probably my favorite Ys game. Ys Oath and Falgana. Love the soundtrack, and this was my introduction to the franchise. But love the franchise, or love the soundtrack, love the combat, love everything in this game, love the storytelling. And this is the premium edition, and I believe it came with the CD there, a little art. But I thought it came with a map too in here, but some type of pendant. I'm not too sure. I don't want to really open it and go digging through it. But yeah, Ys, the Oath and Falgana, loved it. And another premium edition that's probably, there it is right here, $171 for a complete in box copy on Video Game Like price charting. Insane. Ys 7, and this premium edition comes with, man, this is one of the thicker ones out of all of them. A little dust on the top here. But yeah, this came with a nice map, the art book, the soundtrack, again, great music. This started incorporating playing as multiple characters, and it's something that people who were used to playing Ys, probably some of the tried and true people like Johnny Millennium, that's probably something that was really different for them getting used to, because you're so used to playing as Adol, and then you're switching up and playing it as other people now, like Dogi, like his faithful companion. And I had no problems with it. Instead of the mechanic of Adol himself switching weapons and techniques, it was, hey, switch to this character and use their weapon to extract certain weaknesses from enemies and bosses. And I thought it was cool, a cool mechanic, and it was cool mix up to the series. And it's kind of what they've stuck with now throughout the rest of them, but still a solid game. Really enjoyed it. Now, the last three I have here are sealed, and these are all courtesy of a longtime YouTuber, Aerodynamish. He sent these to me. I forget why they were even sent to me. Like, he was so giving, and during the holiday season and stuff, he would just send packages to his fellow YouTubers, just packed with stuff, or in trades, or it was just insane the stuff he would send people. And these came in a package that he sent to me. This day I'll never forget it, along with this awesome, like, collector's edition Street Fighter 4 arcade stick. Just all this awesome stuff that I'm undeserving of. But one of the first one here, because he's from Europe and he's released over in European countries, and it was the 3rd birthday. I really love the Parasite Eve franchise, and this was the 3rd entry into the series, so-called. And they had a Twisted edition, as you can see, come out over there. So this is still sealed because I own a copy of the game, just a standard English edition, so I figured I'd just keep this sealed. So it's a new condition, never been open, along with everything else he sent to me, because I own other copies of them. So, but the game kind of hit and miss with a lot of people. It was a good time, but nothing like the first two. But still stoked to have this in the collection, and yeah, it'll always stay in this wrapper. This next one I don't really know much about because I've never even played it, but Lord of Arcana, the Slayer edition, 50% off Crystal Defenders. And again, still in its shrink wrap, nice and new. So I don't even really know what type of game this is. I want to say it has the looks of something like Soul Sacrifice, but I've never looked it up, never opened it. So if I do ever play it, it will not be through this one because it's been sealed this long. I'd like to let it stay that way. And another one that'll stay sealed because I have an NA copy of it, Tactics Ogre, Let Us Cling Together. Again, still in its shrink wrap. It's premium edition that came out exclusively over there. We didn't get one over here in North America. So I really love tactical strategy RPGs, Final Fantasy Advance, Tactics Ogre, or even the one that came out on the PSP for Final Fantasy, which we'll see later on. There's some of my favorite type of tactics games. Jeanne d'Arc on the PSP. Love them. So those are the premium editions. And I am going to... I need a place to set games, so... slide these over. Alright, so now we're getting to the actual physical games here, other than the premium editions. Again, you might see some of these premium edition games show up again, because I do have some of them out the boxes. First one to show, Papa LaCroix. And I think Alex got this at Book Off from me. I think the price there is $2.50 is what he got it for. So, and I want to say it's an old school JRPG. I haven't played it, so can't tell you much about it yet. But it's one of those things like JRPGs, you want to get them while you can, because later on down the line, just everything starts shooting up in price. And most of the time, JRPGs are part of that category. They will shoot up in price. Next one, Untold Legends, Brotherhood of the Blade. I'm really into Diablo style loot games, and that's exactly what this is. Again, cheaper game, I think $1.50. Another one from Book Off, I believe Alex got for me. Alex, Return to Mother Base, man, he'd always be on the lookout at stuff when he'd go to Book Off or game stores and send me a message. But when COVID and stuff hit, that kind of died down. But now he's back out and about again. Now he's hunting Pokemon stuff for me. So, but yeah, I actually have fun with these games. So these, I don't know what these are going for now, but they were cheaper back in the day. I don't see it up here on the very high section. So, man, what am I talking about? Everything's high these days. Like everything's over $30 these days. So who knows? All right, games that I really enjoy are Spider-Man games, and this is Spider-Man Friend or Foe. Looks like I paid $25 for that one. Probably overpaid for this during the height of the last couple of years, but I wanted to try to get every Spider-Man game that I could because I really enjoy playing them, and when I saw it, I just couldn't pass it up. Another one from my local game store, Star Trek Tactical Assault. You know, since I'm a PSP collector and I saw it and it looked like a tactical game, I had to get it, but I haven't played it yet, so I really don't know much about it. Next up, Prince of Persia Revelations, and man, this is a beat up, worn out copy. I think I got this from the flea market for $5 a long time ago, so I want to say this is kind of the port of the second game. I don't know if it did anything different or new, but yeah. I love Prince Persia. A game that I've been itching to want to play all of them in the series, and I've only dabbled into it some on the PS3. White Knight Chronicles Origins on the PSP. Online co-op missions for up to 4 players. That is just awesome for the PSP. And I remember was it Pete Dorr was the first one who told me about the original White Knight Chronicles on the PS3, and I have that and the second one in the combo pack deal, and I actually started playing it ages ago. It's just one of those things you just fall off from playing with, and once there's a time gap there, you just lose track of everything in it. But tried and true, again, JRPG, and I want to say this is kind of a marvel that it's on the PSP because this is a larger game. I remember the load times being really long, but again, a series that I just really want to get into. We did not get a physical of this in North America. This is a European copy. Actually, the next game here, another PSP lover on YouTube, Metal Jesus Rocks, is the one who turned me on to this one, and that is Pursuit Force Extreme Justice. And yes, a buck 79 for this game. It's just kind of some over the top like action, driving, shooting style, and I'm actually really curious what this is going for right now. There's no way it's still $1. Pursuit Force Extreme Justice. There we go. It's sitting in the $15 range now, so a game I paid $1.54 for, or $1.79, sorry, 15 bucks now, so everything's going up. Ratchet and Clank size matters. Just finished my first Ratchet and Clank game, the one on the PS5. So I have not played this one, but I really enjoyed the new one that I played on PS5. Resistance Retribution. I remember the PSP coming out, and I really was getting excited about playing first-person shooter games on it. But man, it's kind of tough without that second control stick to look around. A lot of them tried to incorporate the face buttons to do it, and it takes some getting used to. I have not played this one yet, though. Another one with Clank. Secret Agent Clank got his own game on the PSP. But again, have not played it. For you fighting game fans, Soul Calibur, Broken Destiny. And I don't even know where I got this one. I know it was just awesome. Like, hey, Kratos is even in the PSP game, so it's awesome when they incorporate characters like Link and everyone in the Soul Calibur games. All right, the next stack here. And these got like way out of order. But anyways, I told you they got all mixed up. Legend of Heroes 3, Song of the Ocean. Now, before the Trails in the Sky Legend of Heroes series kind of came out, this series was going. Legend of Heroes 3, Song of the Ocean. There was a 1, 2, and 3. And I believe I have 2 of them. But, again, everything's all mixed up here. So, I'm not sure where they're at in here. Another Spider-Man game, Web of Shadows. And I have played this on the PS3. Really liked it, but wanted to have the PSP version. Another first-person shooter, Coded Arms. I did start getting into this one, but again, the shooting mechanics in it without that second stick made it tough. So never did get to finish it, but again, for what it can do on the PSP, it's still impressive. Ace Combat, Skies of Deception. This was just a buy on a whim. I was like, man, I was looking for the mock game on PSP, and no one had it, but there was a Ace Combat game in there, so I bought it. Excellent RPG. Star Ocean First Departure. Love this game from start to finish. Love the combat system because it had this Tales of type of combat system where it's action based when you get into it, and I really loved it, enjoyed it. And it takes place, and it's a like a space. I love sci-fi stuff, so having a sci-fi RPG like takes place in space and everything, it's just awesome. So Star Ocean First Departure. I want to say this is a game that's kind of up there in price these days too when trying to get. Let's see. Yeah, the US copy's up there still at like 30 bucks, so not too bad. Siphon Filter Dark Mirror. Love the Siphon Filter games on the PlayStation growing up. So had to get the one on PSP. Next, ZHP, Unlosing Ranger versus Dark Death Evil Man. This is one of those niche games that I just bought on a whim because you never know like what it's going to cost. Again, especially if it's a JRPG type game. I haven't put it in. Didn't tell you. Let's see what PHP. Oh my goodness, a complete box price of this thing is going for $100. That's insane. Okay, see, that's why you buy it when it's 15 bucks at GameStop. So you're not paying $100 later on. Here is my NA copy of Tactics Ogre that is clean together. So there you go. Grand Theft Auto Chinatown Wars. Actually, a really fun Grand Theft Auto game on the PSP. Kind of harkened back to the older days on the PlayStation when you just had the top-down view. And it was a good game, solid. Not as good as the other one, but still liked it. Which the other one should pop up here soon. Guruman, A Monstrous Adventure. This was one of those kind of like sleeper action RPGs, or hidden gem as one would say. I have played it to completion. Pretty easy game from what I remember, but a good just action RPG. Like I said, a little easy, but I had fun with it. It kind of reminded me a little bit of Mega Man Legends. All right, now the next stack. We're rolling through here. I'm gonna put these back on the desk. Oh. Here we go. Continuing on. Star Wars The Force Unleashed. I played both of these through on the Xbox 360, so I have not played the PSP version. But again, when you see something this cheap, I think I got this for like $3. Just wanted to get it and add it to the collection. Ultimate Ghosts and Goblins on the PSP. $5.99 for this one. I want to say this was at a pawn shop that I got this one. But yeah, still have never gotten through any of the Ghosts and Goblin games. Ghouls and Ghosts. They're too tough for me. I'm not as good as a gamer anymore to get through them. A series I'd really like to be able to play, at least finish one game in. Unfortunately, it can't be this one because it's all in Japanese. But the Super Robot series, this is Portable A. Can't tell you anything about it. All I know is I'm a big fan of G Gundam, and as you see there, Domon Kashu is in the game. That is the only reason I have this game. It'd be awesome to one day be able to play it in English so I can do an erupting, burning finger on somebody, but don't know. All right. Valhalla Knights. In Valhalla Knights 2, I'm trying to recall what the combat was in this. I know this is more of an action RPG based game, but I did not play it long enough to find out with either and I even bought the third one on Vita. Yet I need to put time into actually playing one of the others first. So can't tell you too much about them, but I do got them. You're gonna hear a lot of that with the PSP. Like, I own a lot of these, but haven't really played a lot of them. Trails in the Sky. Here's the physical copy from the premium edition. Half Minute Hero. One of my favorite action or strategy RPGs of all time, Jeanne d'Arc. Thing I love about it is the story was great. Leveling up seemed seamless. There were no big hiccups in it. Nice, smooth. It had some challenging points, but if you use strategy, you could get through it. And it wasn't overly long. It wasn't this 80-hour journey. I want to say you could beat this in between 20 and 30 hours, if not less. And I loved it. This copy is sealed. I have 2 copies of this, and I just bought one just to keep it sealed. So, Jeanne d'Arc. Second copy is not in the stack though. Like I said, there were some Legend of Heroes games before the Trails in the Sky, and this is the first one. I am missing the second one, so I have 1 and 3. The Warriors, one of my favorite games that I bought on Xbox when I had the original Xbox because I love the movie, one of my favorite movies of all times. The soundtrack, just love it. And this was a really cool, like, Rockstar did this game, but really cool concept as far as the game. Just walking around as a gang. You do a lot of like repetitive stuff like tagging things and stuff that I didn't really like. But the combat system where you're just like running away and getting into the gang fights and everything was awesome. Highly recommend it. I think this is a game that on all systems is kind of shooting up there too in value. Need for Speed Most Wanted. One of my favorite Need for Speed titles, Most Wanted. So I wanted to get the PSP system or a version of it, and it holds up. It's a great racing game on the PSP, so I highly recommend it if you're looking for one. My third birthday NA copy right here. Really like the cover of it. Disgaea Infinite. A strategy RPG series I really wanted to get into, but unfortunately they are just so long and I can't really get into them, so it's sad. I'll probably never get to finishing one. I really love music-based, rhythm-based games like Guitar Hero and such, and DJ Max Fever. There's actually a really expensive game on the PSP that's hard to find. I forget which one it is. But I had a good time with this one, just for having some fun and playing some music rhythm games. Great Final Fantasy game. Final Fantasy IV, the complete collection. One, I have not played the After Years, and I don't know if it's worth even going to play that, because the original game itself is good enough for me. Great care. Everyone knows about Final Fantasy IV. Great characters. It's just awesome. One of the first Final Fantasy games I've ever beat. Final Fantasy Tactics, The War of the Lions. It's tough for me to... I know people probably say this is way better over the Advanced series, but I'll take the Advanced series any day just because I like... Nothing beats the classic snowball fight. But then just the load times and everything loaded easier. The load times for this game, especially on the PSP, are horrendous. And that takes you out of it, man. Big time. Another game I know nothing about. Generation of Chaos. But again, anytime I see NIS or Exceed on a game, I just want to get it. So I do not even know what type of game it is. Create and grow and govern your own massive 30 versus 30 combat. There you go. And then we got here some awesome games that came out to continue the series. God of War, Chains of Olympus, and God of War, Ghosts of Sparta. Awesome, awesome iterations of the God of War franchise on the PSP. They played great, flawless. If you're looking for God of War, hack and slash, action, look no further, because these were awesome. They hold up the title right up there with the PS1 or PS2 entries. Next up, God's Eater Burst. I really started getting to the Monster Hunter style games here recently, especially with Monster Hunter World that released on the PS4 and all other last-gen consoles. Going back, though, it'd be nice to go back and play some of these other games, like God's Eater Burst. This is a Monster Hunter type of clone, as some would say, where, again, you got your weapons and you're just hunting down big monsters. So it would be cool to visit back on these two. Now I'm getting really into this kind of hunt type of game series. Next deck. Naruto Ultimate Ninja Heroes. Again, this is one I saw cheap, so just wanted to snatch it. Have not played it. I know there are some fighting games with Naruto, but I don't know if this is one of the fighting games or like an actual story-based game. So ATV Off-Road Fury Blazing Trails. The ATV Off-Road Fury games are some of the, actually, when I first got my PS2, the games I got with it were, my first paycheck that I got from working with my uncle helping him in the summer was WWE SmackDown, and then when I had enough again to buy a second game was ATV Off-Road Fury. And I would sit up and I had a blast playing the ATV Off-Road Fury games, just going around, driving around the maps, doing tricks. And then eventually we got internet and I did the LAN connection, going online, just cruising and doing tricks with other people online. So just a nostalgic moment with any ATV Off-Road Fury game. Another awesome Final Fantasy game, Crisis Core. I love the combat system they incorporated with this, of kind of being able to move, not just your standard static Final Fantasy game, more of moving around and attacking and stuff. And really like playing as the character Zack. I've never played the original Final Fantasy or beaten it all the way through, but I had a blast playing Crisis Core. Daxter, Jack's sidekick, of course, got his own standalone game on the PSP. I'll start whipping through some of these because this is taking way longer than I thought. Deadhead Fred, a classic tale of murder, corruption, revenge, and interchangeable heads. Metal Gear Acid. I was really getting on a Metal Gear kick a couple of years ago, so I was trying to get every Metal Gear game. This game and Acid 2 were some of the hardest ones for me to try to find without wanting to go online to buy them. And I think Acid 2 is sitting in here somewhere. Final Fantasy Final Fantasy. Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep. Excellent entry into the Kingdom Hearts series. Again, I love the Kingdom Hearts series. And this one, just the combat was awesome with the characters. It was so fluid in Birth by Sleep. I like how they picked up on some of this for the later entries in the series afterwards, where the combat was smooth, and really loved this. I'm glad it got like a PS4 remake and everything. Final Fantasy Type 0 on the PSP. And I want to say this was through... This might have been in the package from Aerodynamics as well when this came in. So, of course, we did end up getting it here on other consoles. So there was no need to have the PSP version now, but it's still awesome. That was the only way to play it at one point. Final Fantasy 2 PSP. Still sealed because I got this on everything. So why not keep that one sealed? And the first one's in here somewhere. Another RPG franchise I really like. Tales of the World, Radiant Mythology. I really enjoy the Tales games. I'm looking forward to the new one, Tales of Arise, coming out and get my hands on that and playing it. But this was one we had for the PSP. Next deck. Lord of the Rings Tactics. Again, I like tactical RPGs. So what better than a Lord of the Rings tactical RPG? Medieval Resurrection. Of course, the Medieval franchise just got its birth again, and some HD remasters on the PS4. I think Xbox, or no, just PS4 because it's a Sony property. But yeah. Got a game on PSP as well. Monster Hunter Freedom 2. Of course, getting into the Monster Hunter series, had to go back and get these classics. But I also purchased this on the PS Vita, because the PS Vita, you can actually use the second control stick to control the camera. I don't know if it's for Freedom or Freedom Unite, but in the one I got, you can. MotorStorm Arctic Edge. Awesome racing game series and franchise. Plays good on the PSP as well. Dungeons and Dragons Tactics. Again, the tactics game. So I had to get it. SOCOM, I don't know why I got this one. I'm probably never going to play it. But again, I see something this cheap. And it's like it's worth having in the collection. Who knows? One day I might pop it in. But SOCOM US Navy SEALs was, again, one of the first games I ever got on my PS2 when I eventually got it. Because having that headset was like something so new to me, controlling your soldiers. I'm getting stuck. All right. Kenka Bancho. This is an awesome, like if you just want a fighter, like an old school, like Double Dragon type of fighter game, this is up there, man. You got to get this one. If you're just looking around to go around to start beating people up, this game. Star Wars Battlefront, Renegade Squadron, Battlefront series kind of went and hopped on the PSP. Killzone Liberation. I want to say, I don't think this was a first person. Yeah, it was a third person shooter because I have not played this yet. So, and I wanted to say I thought it was going to be like a tactics based game to plan your next move. So yeah, I think it don't 16 intense single player missions, tactical command system. So yeah, that's why I got it. It's like, oh, this is like XCOM. I love XCOM type games. So a game that I'm itching to get into. Star Ocean Second Evolution. Told you I had the sequel here because I really enjoyed the first game, so I need to play this second game. For as much as I love the first one, I still have yet to play it though. This is on the list. Needs to be playing soon. When I did play and complete, Valkyria Profile Lenneth. Again, tactical strategy game. And I love the kind of combo system they mixed up in this one, on this one and the one on the DS. So, really like the Valkyria Profile games. Drink break. All right, we're up to the last stack here. In the first three, we've already shown off. East Chronicles 1 and 2. East Chronicle, East, Othenfeld, Ghana, and East 7. We already showed the premium editions of those. But we also have, which did get a premium edition, East, the Ark of Nepistrum. And this was actually not, as you see down here, Falcom and Xseed did all these. This one, Konami, though. So, don't know the extensive history of the development of the game, but I do not believe it's the same team who worked on the other ones. And this one's kind of the black sheep in the franchise, so to say. People think this is so far, this one and the newest one, which I've yet to finish yet, are the only ones in the franchise that have not beaten. So it will happen one day. Right. Next up, Wild Arms XF. When I was getting this, I thought it was going to be like the classic Wild Arms RPGs, but it has like this tactical grid kind of style mixed in with it. So not just like the old school ones. Mitron Wars, again, $3.59, so that's why I got it, but I can't tell you anything about it. And the case is really beat up. Great franchise. I need to beat this one because so far I've only beaten the first one and number 4, but so I haven't beaten the second one. Valkyria Chronicles 2. I love tactical RPGs, and you can't get more tactical than these, the Valkyria Chronicles series. Wipeout, pure, awesome racing game, especially if you're a fan of Wipeout series and that fast-paced racing action. The Power Stone collection, which comes with Power Stone 1 and 2 on the PSP. Awesome Dreamcast games. And I'm actually really curious. The Dreamcast games go for so much. And I wonder what this PSP collection goes for. Looks like about 50 bucks, so nowhere near the Dreamcast copies, but I got this for 10. Final Fantasy original 20th anniversary there on the bottom. I keep hitting my mic. Rock Band Unplugged. Have not tried this music rhythm game out, because I don't know if it needed an attachment or not, or if you could just play with the control or the buttons on the controller. So, but again, I love music rhythm games. All right, we found it. But anyways, Rocky Balboa. Got this from Double Jump Games. Sick Cooper on YouTuber. A YouTuber. I wanted to buy something from his store, and I love boxing games, so I figured I'd snatch this from his store since he had it. Metal Gear Solid Portable Ops. This was actually pretty cool Metal Gear game. Played through it. Again, not as long as all the other ones. Just pretty much these like broken up missions, it seemed like. Even though it did have a single player storyline in it, it just didn't really flow like your normal Metal Gear Solid game, but it is Metal Gear. A great Metal Gear game, though, which I only got halfway through, was the Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker. I started playing it on the PS3. Then my PS3 like save data got corrupted, so wasn't able to start it back up. But I do own the PSP copy as well. This plays more like classic Metal Gear. Death Jr. 3D platforming action adventure game. Here's the physical copy of Lunar Silver Star Harmony. Breath of Fire 3. Again, another PAL copy that did not release over here. So this was the only way to get it physical, was on the PSP version of it. So, hitting the mic again. At least if you wanted the PSP physical version. Dissidia, man, Duodecium Final Fantasy, and I want to say, yeah, here it is. That's the sequel. This is the first one. I played the first one and actually really had a good time with it. I'm not a big fighting game guy, but had a great time with Dissidia and the combat system in that. I remember the final boss having to repeat it a few times, but that final achievement of actually winning was incredible. Have not played the sequel yet, though. One that I should get into because I had a blast with the first one, so I'm sure I'd have a blast with this one. Dungeon Siege, Throne of Agony. Again, a nice, cheaper game. And this, again, kind of that Diablo style type of game where you're just hunting down and killing monsters and getting loot. And I love those kind of games. I'm sorry. I'm a sucker for them. Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2. Again, this is a game that was so tough to find back in the day. Like on the Xbox 360, it would keep its value. I even got the PC versions when they came out because I was looking forward to playing it again. Again, it's kind of like that. Again, you get the Diablo style camera, action RPG type of style gameplay with these games, and I have a blast with them. It stinks that the PC Steam ones that came out were all screwed up. The controls are all messed up, that they're almost unplayable. But we still have these versions we can go back to. And I got the one on the PSP here. PS3 versions I have as well. Silent Hill Origins. Oh my goodness. $8.99. I've been buying up some Silent Hill stuff now just because it's getting so high. I'm curious now. I gotta look this up. Silent Hill Origins. PSP. $50. $8.99. It's just crazy how stuff. There's one sitting here. PlayStation 2 copy is like 100 plus. It's just crazy how one moment something's under $10, a couple years goes by, and it's through the roof. All right, last two here. Again, some of my favorite games on the system. Phantasy Star Portable. Phantasy Star Portable 2. I had Phantasy Star Portable for the longest time. Loved it. And I remember trying to hunt down Phantasy Star Portable 2 at trade shows, going to too many games, year after year, trying to find that thing, and never being able to find it. Until one year, we finally get there. And there's a vendor who finally has it. And I finally get it, so I can finally play it alongside, after finishing Phantasy Star Portable in years, wanting to play this sequel. So finally got it. Love it. Love the games. I want to say when I got it, it was around $50. Yeah, and right now this game itself is sitting around $100 from what I'm seeing on the price charting. So glad I dove in when I did. A lot of people, Phantasy Star, their memories of it started back on Dreamcast and the GameCube. That wasn't me. I didn't play even the older ones, the Genesis copies. This is where Phantasy Star started for me, was with these two games, or especially with this one, with Portable. And I loved it. I had a blast with it. Again, loot hunting in it, and then getting to finally play the sequel, continuing the loot hunting grind. Now we have Phantasy Star Online 2, and of course the newest version of it came out this year, a couple months ago. And unfortunately, I haven't really dove into those just because it feels different from these. It's a lot faster, of course, and everything on those, but something felt special about these. And as much as I do want to play the newer ones and get into those, these are nice single player standalone. I want to say they incorporated multiplayer as well. Wi-Fi compatible 1 to 4 players, and this one as well. So I can't recommend them enough. Great games on the PSP. So, and that pretty much wraps it up. I'll leave it there. That's all the games that I have, all the ones I have to show. PSP is still one of my favorite systems, and I can't wait to get through more of this stack because there's a lot to go through, but again, there's only so much time. So hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed the collection. If you did, leave a like on my video, leave a comment, because this is going on YouTube. Tell me what's in your collection, what your favorite games are. If there's some that I missed that I need to grab, just let me know. Anyways, I appreciate you guys, anyone who came to hang out. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see y'all on the next one.